Hello everyone, it's George Whittam reporting for Whittam's World 2016. It's finally here. Hope yours is getting off to a great start and it's a busy one. It sure is for me. Just finding time to make these videos each week is proving to be quite the challenge. So forgive me if they get to be a little bit brief or a little bit raw, more so than usual, but it's all I can do to just keep these flowing. So here we go. This one came in from Larry Oliver Voices, and he said, I just completed building a great isolation booth at 4x5x7, a room within a room, double wall, decoupled, floating floor, automatic door seal, green glue, blah, 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 all the good stuff. My noise floor hovers around minus 76 to minus 82 dB. Now, I don't know whether you mean peak or RMS. Big difference. My audio chain is quite simple. It's an AT4033CL microphone into a Focusrite 202 into my Mac Mini. Most of the time I use TwistedWave as my DAW. When editing tracks with no processing, I hear an audible hiss, and especially when I turn the volume up. When I apply an effect stack built by the world-renowned sound engineers of the stars, George Whittam, the hiss has disappeared, which is a good thing. This stack was done for me before I built my ISO sound booth. Should I be concerned with that hiss that is evident before processing? Is this hiss produced because of bad cables or self-noise of the interface or the mic? If self-noise of this mic is 17 dB, that's not bad. I'm going to take advantage of your January special. That's called the Fresh Sound Special, by the way. But really curious of this hiss because I don't think it is background or ambient noise. Sorry for the verbosity, and thanks for your time. Not all noise is created equal. There is no recording studio I can think of that will produce zero hiss unless they've invested a tremendous amount of money in the best microphone preamps, the best headphone amplifiers, all the top line A to D analog to digital converters, power conditioning systems, super isolated construction, silent ventilation systems, all that. You're almost always going to hear some hiss. With a noise floor of minus 76 to minus 82, you should be very, very lucky you're getting numbers like that. Numbers that are that good, I have to assume they're probably RMS levels that you're reading at the bottom of the meter in TwistedWave instead of the peak meter levels, which are at the top of TwistedWave. They're very different. RMS levels tend to be averaging much lower than peak levels because peak is the peak of the noise at any one moment, whereas RMS is an average of the noise level over time. Okay? That said, minus 76 to 82, even at an RMS level, is considered quite good, just as a bar, because there are really very few bars that can be used to measure noise in terms of a standard in voiceover. But for example, ACX that produces audiobooks, they require that your RMS noise floor be around minus 60. So by their standards, which arguably are not the most stringent, your noise floor is way below that. So you really don't have as much of an issue as you probably think that you do. Are you going to hear hiss? Yeah, you're always going to hear some hiss. That's totally normal. The microphone itself produces some noise. The audio interface produces some noise. The electrical power in your home allows some noise to get in. All these things, noise can get into your system. And that is why when I create a custom effects stack in TwistedWave or in any other software, I use something called a downward expander, which takes the hiss, whatever amount of hiss that there is, and reduces it by a certain amount. I don't go all the way down to negative infinity, which would be digital black total silence. I don't think that's a good idea in most cases. But I do use some expansion so that the noise floor, if it started out at, say, minus 60 dB peak, will end up down around minus 70 to 75, which for most people sounds like almost total silence. So it's all relative. You really should submit some audio to me to let me help you determine whether the hiss you're hearing is actually a problem or is totally within acceptable limits. I think if your peak levels in your room tone are measuring minus 60 dB, of noise floor, I think you're doing really well. Minus 60 dB peak If you're getting below minus 55, 60 dB peak, you're doing really well in a home studio, and you probably have nothing to worry about. Well, thanks for writing in, Larry. I appreciate it. It's going to be a busy month around here because coming up next week is the NAMM show. And everybody that knows and follows me knows that I cover the NAMM show thoroughly and shoot lots of videos of some of the cool new products that voiceover people want to know about. So expect for the next couple of months to be chock full of videos covering products from the NAMM show, the Winter NAMM show 2016. That's right here in Anaheim, California. If you do have questions, though, write them in. I might be able to slip them in between NAMM show specials. And if I can't get it to it right away, you might want to just get some one-on-one support through my support portal at vostudiotech.com. We have a ticketing system there now, and it allows me and my other tech team members to assist you with your tech issues. And as always, if you want to call in for support or just get questions about the services we provide at Edge Studio, you can call 212-868-EDGE. Thanks for watching. This is George Whittam for Whittam's World. I'll see you guys next week. See ya.